I'm not a committee member, so I can't call it to order if someone would like to.
I will call the Economic Development Committee. I will open the meeting.
Thank you. The first item and an important item on the agenda is we need to vote on a chair and a vice chair because that's just something required by the town clerk. Little challenging just because we don't have two members here tonight,
Right.
but is anyone interested?
What are the responsibilities?
Just
Just to be here.
opening, calling the meeting to order, closing the meeting. That's really all.
Okay. I think I can handle that.
Okay.
I'd like to nominate Mary as
Okay.
our,
I'd like to
as our
second that.
chair.
Great.
Okay, great.
Great. Thank you, Mary.
Is anybody else interested in vice chair?
Well, I think we have to nominate and vote one at a time. Is that correct, or do we?
Oh, yes, so
Yeah. So we have to
to
vote.
unanimously vote.
Technically vote, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we have to vote before we bring in.
I'll make a motion to accept Mary Laria as chair of the Economic Development Committee.
I'll second that.
And then I guess all in favor? Aye.
Nice.
Okay.
Right. Yes, unanimously.
We're so good at this. And I'll be honest, I don't know if we need a vice chair, if we just need a chair.
Okay.
Some committees have a vice chair, but
Well, if
I think the important one is to have a chair.
Sure.
But in the absence of the chair,
That's for the vice chair.
then a vice chair, yeah. So we do, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will nominate Lindsay Baker.
I'll second that.
And I will accept the nomination.
All in favor?
Aye.
Perfect. Maybe it just wouldn't have been fair, like.
His first meeting.
Guy.
Do we have to reorganize annually?
I don't think so. It's not like an elected committee.
Okay.
I think as long as the chair is on the board. He's all set.
We
Yeah,
lost our chair.
we're good.
In the last,
Yeah.
right, in the last round.
We did. So I will get into my report. It might be a little short, but the development update that I provided last time, I was looking it over, and there's not much else that has come up since then. There's a few things though. Bentley's is closing, and as we said last time, Starbucks was denied by the planning board. Starbucks is supposed to go there, but they were denied by the planning board, so that is just kind of up in the air. We as in town staff are trying to find ways to recruit some kind of like restaurant to go there, but that's still a work in progress. So as of right now, I think they closed last Friday, so yeah. And then Ocean State Job Lot is coming to where Big Lots was. Yes. And there was a proposed car wash for the former Ronnie's site, but since there is a car wash across the street, I think they are in some kind of lawsuit with each other, competing car washes. So I don't know the status of. I know that they're in some kind of lawsuit, but I don't know how that's going to turn out and if
That's
the new car
interesting.
wash is going to go in across the street.
Oh, yeah.
Have they already started breaking ground on that though? Is that the
Development?
fenced area? Maybe that's the next property.
That's
the
in
next
front of
property.
Halligan's.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. And
Do you know what's happening there?
I don't know what they're doing there. I know they were letting one of the car dealerships store their cars there, so I don't know if they're paving it for that reason.
Got it.
Because it's not a very big area.
Right.
Is that
Fenced
over
off.
in, where the Heritage Mall is? Is
No.
that- Because a dealership or someone is also using that space to move cars as well. to
Yes.
keep Cars.
There's a lot of car storage going on right now. Of
Yeah,
all
'cause it's
things.
even up at the farmer's,
Yeah.
the farmer's
Yeah.
daughter. Yeah, I see
Right.
All those trucks.
the trucks up there.
Right.
What do our zoning bylaws say about that?
They don't really say anything, so that's why we're getting so many calls. I mean, not
Yeah.
me specifically, but like the building commissioner and
Right, is it
The town
zoned
planner.
for it, right, things like that. Interesting.
But-
I think they're been negotiated by the landlords that own those specific properties.
yeah, it's some kind of
Must be,
agreement
yeah.
between whoever owns the property and whoever's storing the cars. I mean, we made someone who wanted to store cars at a different property come to DCG recently, which is the development coordination group. That's where town staff meets for like development and pre-development proposals that we get, just to give them like permitting guidance. So that's kind of how we're handling it right now, but there's nothing really
Yeah,
banning them from doing that.
right.
But to your question, Patrick, the lot we're talking about is across from the Harley dealership and the car
okay.
wash
Oh,
there.
there's all cars
Over by
there
J.
now.
Anthony's,
Yeah.
yeah.
J. Anthony's
Yeah.
and Dunkin' Donuts or whatever
Mhm.
that is over there.
Donuts, yeah.
And Ronnie's, is that also being taken over? Has that been has anybody taken over Ronnie's yet? Because they're no longer open as well.
So there was someone who came to a DCG meeting to propose a new car wash. So that's the
Oh, that's the
lawsuit
car
that I was
wash,
talking
that-
about.
okay.
Yeah, because I think Ernie's either sued. I don't know the terms, but
Yeah.
right. Ernie's wasn't happy about a car wash
don't
coming in across the street. I heard there was some kind of lawsuit going on. And then for a town update, there were town manager interviews last Monday or Wednesday. They were last week. They were televised and they're on YouTube now if you wanted to watch them. There were 3 candidates, one of them being Dory Vecchio, who's our interim town manager right now. And the board did not vote at that meeting, so they are voting on Thursday.
Thursday.
Yes.
Is that meeting posted?
Yes.
Yes, yeah,
Posted.
it should be by now. If it's Thursday, they have 48 hours. You had another question about, the fire station.
Oh, yes, I just,
Hopefully everyone voted today.
Right,
Because
vote
that's when
yes.
the
Going
Still
after
voting.
this, going after this.
So we own that land, the town owns that land, but the vote is for spending the funds.
It's the
like-
borrowing, it's
Yeah, the
for-
borrowing, okay.
authorization to borrow.
And for Prop 2.5.
He's on the finance committee, so
Yes.
he
He's
knows,
our guy,
Nice.
he knows the terms. and
our man on the
everything.
inside.
I was hoping
Finance.
I could bring I could have some skills and knowledge to offer, so.
Bring it secondhand from my husband, who's also on finance committee,
Which
but
is?
Mike Marshall,
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes,
Now I
you
just
as
put the
well.
name together.
with different last names, but.
I just picked that up. Okay.
Yeah, the fire station, fingers crossed.
Yeah,
Right.
Already,
Yeah.
already cleared the lot, let's go.
yeah.
Certainly need it.
I'll just be happy if they finish the sidewalks around that property, because it's dangerous walking over there.
Yeah. I did, sorry, moving on to discussion and then events. Obviously, I work closely with the Chamber of Commerce, and I'm on the programs and promotions subcommittee for them. And they are interested in doing like some kind of Christmas, not craft fair, but like a Christmas holiday stroll. at Goddard Park this winter. And I said, I think my Economic Development Committee would be interested in helping out with that because we want to try to incorporate some more events
Yeah.
that are specifically business focused. So this would be a great opportunity for us to all work together. So there is a subcommittee being formed for that purpose, planning this holiday stroll. This would be the first one. So moving forward, if everything goes well this year, then that would be like a regular planning kind of committee. If anyone's interested, I'm also on that subcommittee. But if any of you are interested in joining, they are welcoming members of the public and then specifically this committee, if anyone is interested.
Okay, yeah, I would be interested in that.
I would as well.
Okay, awesome. They would be daytime meetings. That is the only thing.
Are they in person?
Or are they Zoom? Both? Is it hybrid?
Sure, we could set up some kind of Zoom option. Yeah. We haven't met. We're meeting tomorrow, first meeting. So
Oh, so what time?
2:30 at Dunkin' Donuts. So that one's in person.
I
But-
can do that.
Once we nail down,
Is that something I should try to go to?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. I can. Her name is Jackie Farron.
Oh, 2:30. I'm already committed.
That's okay.
Oh, darn. Okay, well, I'll still,
Volunteer yourself.
yeah, of course.
Okay. Great. So one of the chamber members, her name is Jackie Farron. She's kind of spearheading this subcommittee, and I already told her that I thought that some of these members would
Sure,
be
I
interested.
have, I don't have my calendar with me. I could have, I think I have an 11 o'clock appointment in Boston. So conceivably, I could turn around at 12:30 and be out here. But are you at your desk in the morning? Because I can confirm when I get home and look at my schedule if I can join you or not. I can
Yes,
call you
I just have a
tomorrow.
meeting tomorrow at 10.
Okay, I'll try to get you, and I can email you too.
Yeah.
I'll try to circle back in the morning and let you know if I can
Okay.
be there. Which Dunkin' Donuts are they meeting at?
Oh, next to the high school on
So that-
Southbridge Street. I don't know the exact.
Oh, the
number.
one that's
By
near
the mall.
Shaw's, by,
Yes.
across near the gas station.
Yes.
Okay, across from the mall.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. At 2:30, got it.
I mean, if I know in advance, I could,
Right.
schedule like my
Yeah.
lunch break and, for that time.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be able to make tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. We just nailed down the first meeting date today,
Okay.
so.
You'll send follow on by email to these
Yes.
guys? Okay.
Definitely. And then grant updates. I mentioned this at the last meeting, but there are some state grant opportunities right now that I was looking into, specifically one for some tax credits for vacant properties. Still working on that. The application isn't due until June 4th. So just kind of compiling different vacant properties in town that could use that. One of them being the former Sears site. So,
Can you remind me what is it's sort of an incentive program for businesses to, I'm looking back at the last
Yeah.
time, but
we'd offer them, if awarded the grant, we would
Mhm.
offer them tax incentives.
Okay.
To occupy properties that have long been vacant in town. I think they have to be vacant for 6 months or more to be eligible, the property, I guess, to receive that,
Mhm.
those tax credits, yeah,
Right. Got it.
or tax incentives. And like I said, I unfortunately don't have much, I apologize, but, do you guys have any questions?
No, not at this time.
Okay.
And I just have one. The zoning map that is on the wall, as committee members, is it possible that that can be reduced and we could get a copy of it?
Oh, yeah.
Are there copies of that? Can I go to the assessor's office to ask for it, or can someone
I
get it
don't-
into my hands?
I could print you one.
Could you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can print you one after the meeting.
I just
'cause I
think
have that
that
saved
as
on
a
my
board,
computer.
I just think as a board, it will, you know, in trying to plan and strategize, it gives you an idea of where things where they're placed
Yep.
and what's available and so forth. So I know from not only a revenue standpoint, but from a planning standpoint, and I think certainly as an economic development board, it would be useful to sort of have those so we have an idea of where we can move on the chessboard.
Yeah.
And in trying to plan strategically, not maybe necessarily short term, but long term, that could be a really beneficial tool to have it at Ann's reach rather than up on a board. So that really was all I had.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know it's on the planners, like the town planners page
Yeah, I just
on the
can't get it in
website.
color, so I think the colors
Okay.
with the
Legend.
the legend and so forth
Yeah.
is what helps.
I can print you one after this meeting,
Great.
or I can email it to you too.
Okay.
I could do both.
All right.
Yeah.
That's really all I had.
And I guess going off that, we have once before met with the zoning bylaw review committee to kind of assess, you know, whether there are any changes that we could possibly make to make it more business friendly and I guess less restrictive ultimately. So we met last year to discuss the regional mall district, which actually isn't on there, but the one that I have includes it. And I think that's something that we discussed last time that we would like to do again, just to have like regular check-ins with them and say, you know, there's a reason that these small restaurants aren't coming to town.
Right.
It could be zoning, it could be other things, but if we make it easier for them to develop, then, you know, hopefully we'd see an uptick in that kind of development or whatever kind of development is desirable.
It was really helpful that when we met with them a while ago about the regional mall overlay, and then there was also a housing update that we had to catch up to what the state regulation was for the
Yeah.
what are those called, the additional
Accessory dwelling
accessory
units.
dwellings.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was helpful to just hear from them, even though not all of us could go, because just understanding their perspective on what, like, why they were hesitant or resisting, or, you know,
Yeah.
if it was just one holdout, like just getting that perspective so that we kind of could understand, because there are obviously things I don't know about the zoning laws in the town and things. So it was nice to hear their perspective, and I definitely think, especially with the topic of like Ronnie's and now Bentley's both going to sit vacant, and with Bentley's having had an offer from an oversaturated business, I don't care what your opinions are, we're a big box town.
Yeah.
So it's a shame that that wasn't allowed to go through, because it could have freed up a smaller space that maybe would have been more welcoming to a small business that has the equipment and the plumbing and everything. So it's interesting. It would be nice to hear from them and get their perspective, because it's odd sometimes to hear
Yeah.
those decisions and not know the background.
Well, I think too, the other thing that tons of communities are moving into are mixed use.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I'll be the first to be honest, because I've said it in a public forum before on the finance committee, but I've just shocked when, nothing against the bank that is going up, but against for the mall, but it was like, I honestly will tell you that I saw that building going up, and at first I thought, wow, are we starting to get into mixed use? Because my first thought was that a builder had bought it and we're establishing, you know, some commercial residential space, and that the face of Auburn is starting to change. And then I realized it was a bank, and in all fairness, because it's a business and we want to attract, but you also, I think, you not only want to bring businesses to Auburn, but you want something that their employees are going to say that they want to work at that establishment because Auburn has something to bring to the table. So, you know, that that this whole conversation that we've just had is sort of an extension of why that map can always be really utilized at arm's reach. So I saw that when I came in, and I'm like, that's a tool that had, like, the notes are sitting here, and that we have to always keep first and foremost in our mind, because obviously we want Auburn to be developed going forward in a way that can bring a lot of change and positive change, so that the residents that are here are benefiting from it, and we can attract economic growth. So that, I think that's an important tool, and that's sort of why I brought it up.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Great. That's all I had for a question.
Yeah.
It's that simple. I think on your first meeting, that's that's good. So I'm tapped out.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be good to get an update though, because I feel like we
Yeah.
had that list. We looked at all the zoning, kind of the different options and what was permitted in different areas
Yes.
of town.
And I don't even think they I don't think they ended up moving forward like for the spring town meeting or whatever meeting was coming up when we met with them, whether
Yeah.
it was fall or spring. But I think they ended up pushing it off, and they still haven't like amended the regional mall district because there were so many other things. Like we had to maintain MBTA community compliance. Yeah. And then there was the local ADUs, and there were some other things that needed to be changed. So there were already like 6 zoning amendments.
That can get overwhelming at town meeting.
a lot of people that have to get on board with a lot of concepts.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So it's still open right now.
There.
Yeah. Oh, I think maybe someone will know better than me, but because Patrick wasn't here for the meeting on February 4th,
Yeah.
I have
don't
to
know that we can
abstain from-
vote.
Right,
Yeah.
because I
Yeah, I
have
don't
to
think we have
abstain.
quorum.
we
to
can,
vote,
yeah,
so we
okay,
can just
we'll put it off until next
Yeah.
time. Okay.
I was wondering about that when I saw that the other gentleman couldn't make
That's
it.
okay. Yeah. And then, does anyone have a preference for a next meeting date?
Well, I'm wondering if if we have to meet here, if we should take advantage of Camp Gleason opening and possibly scheduling a next meeting or two at Camp Gleason and taking advantage of the facility before we actually.
I don't think it'll be ready.
When it's done,
When
when
it's
it's
done.
ready.
Well, my understanding was that will it not be ready by July? My thought was that at town meeting, I thought the town manager said that the majority of the building would be done and open by the spring. So maybe we'll just schedule the next 2 meetings. And I guess what I'd like to say is I'd be interested in meeting there if we pick some dates, and then they play out well so that that's available to use.
Yeah.
No pressure.
No pressure.
I mean, if it's not done, it's not done. But we can always set a
You said they
date
didn't have the floor.
and then
Figure out the
if
location.
it is open, yeah.
Yeah,
Because I don't book the meeting room until like a week or 2 before.
right. Yeah,
So-
we could do that.
We can set a date that works for all of us.
So
if
since
the
it's the
building's
end of
open.
May and we are meeting, would it be prudent to wait and meet in August? Because you'd want to meet the next quarter, is that correct?
Yeah.
So would it make sense to do June, July, or August?
I think June or July would be a little too soon.
That's more
Yeah,
the same.
yeah,
Oh, it'll be done by
pushed it.
August.
Oh, perfect.
No problem.
Because
That gives you enough time. All right, great.
things don't always
I was
move.
just thinking, in the next 3 weeks, gee, yeah.
No, because we meet quarterly. Things
And
don't always
is
move fast enough for us to meet
Tuesday
monthly.
the time that we usually, is that the day everybody sort of said they like?
Yes.
Usually Tuesdays.
Yeah.
It's usually a Tuesday?
Yeah, Tuesdays at 5:30 we've been.
So that's the 5th, the 12th, the 19th, or the 26th?
I am free all of those days.
Let me just see. I think preference for 12th, 19th, or 26th.
I am on vacation on the 19th, so,
Okay.
So,
but any other of
Yeah.
those,
so 12 or 26.
I can pretty much at the moment do either. So, I would probably say you'd want to go closer to the 12th because the 26th is going to go into the holiday week.
Right.
And then that might
Oh, that's
strain
true with
some-
Labor Day.
Yeah, so
Okay, so we can do the
probably maybe the 12th.
perfect.
And do we want to go out and schedule the next one in November?
Sure. Oh,
That might be a little tricky. We got holidays in there.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving and Veterans Day on a Tuesday.
Oh, that falls
Oh,
on
yeah.
a Tuesday.
And Election Day is on the 4th.
so that leaves the
The
18th.
18th. We could hold it, and if, you know,
I think,
If it
I
changes,
think the
yeah.
18th would be good.
Okay.
Hopefully the missing parties today won't have any conflicts with those.
We'll get it in their schedule early so they can't have a conflict.
So November 18th. Yeah.
All right. All right. And then, if nothing else,
Motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting is officially closed.